all of a flutter. Mammoth sex-hungry moths on desperate hunt for a partner terrify families by flying into British homes. Giant sex-hungry moths have woken up because of the warm weather, and they're on the prowl for a partner. People in Wirral have been taking to social media to report numerous sightings of the mammoth insects in their gardens and on walls, with some saying their close encounters left them terrified. Julie Jones, from Tranmere, spotted a moth as big as her hand in Birkenhead, and said she was scared in case the creature flew at her while she was taking a photo. Experts said the moths make a sudden dramatic appearance to breed at this time of the year, explaining the flurry of sightings, but they aren't any bigger than usual. Although the poplar hawk, or Lato populi, species of moth featured in these photos appears oversized, there are even bigger moths out there. Alan Gunn, subject leader in natural sciences and psychology at Liverpool John Moores University, said, as its name suggests, the caterpillars feed on the leaves of poplar trees. The caterpillars get very large, but because they are green and feeding high up in the tree canopy, we do not know that they are there. When they have finished feeding, the caterpillars crawl down to the ground and pupate over winter. The adult moths emerge at this time of year but do not live very long. Hence they make a sudden dramatic appearance and are then gone. The moths fly at night but are attracted to light, so you might find them flying through open doors and windows, on railway platforms and anywhere lights are left on overnight. Mr. Gunn said, they try and find somewhere dark and out of sight to rest during the day because birds find them very tasty. If you disturb the moths, then they sometimes flash their underwings. This is a startle response. However, they are totally harmless and cannot bite. Indeed, they are unable to feed because their proboscis is non-functioning. So attempting to give them a treat of sugar water or putting them on a flower will not help them. The adult moths exist only to fly around and have sex. After that, they die. It's a short life and you don't even get to eat and drink. Mrs. Jones and her daughter Maxine Walker spotted one of the moths resting on an air vent outside McDonald's in Rock Retail Park, Birkenhead. Mrs. Jones said, it was rather daunting finding a moth so big and I was a little scared taking the picture in case it flew at me. I have never seen a moth so big. Other larger species of moths spotted in Wirral have included the elephant hawk moth, found by Ian Wiggins in his garden in Moreton. Professor Illik Satchery, professor of ecological genetics at the University of Liverpool, said moths always remain the same size and were not any bigger than usual this year. He said, the poplar hawk moth is not an uncommon species, so maybe they are somewhat more abundant this year. We have had an unusual spell of dry and warm weather in the last 3 weeks or so, but that in itself isn't a reason why you'd find more. It's more related to the previous year's weather. They're totally harmless. During the daytime their main concern is not getting eaten by birds, so they try and stay out of the sun and are completely inactive. They go to sleep as pupae for the winter, then they pop out. Now they are just in the business of having sex.